Good afternoon, Trump family. Welcome to Open Source News. God bless each and every one of you. Let's just jump right in, folks. There's plenty of things to talk about. And as many of you guys know, Donald Trump is a fighter and somebody that will take on these criminal actors within the DOJ, FBI, and of course, the current regime as he continues to fight these people. And what Merrick Garland's starting to find out really quick is that President Trump is not an easy target to go after. And President Trump is not backing down. President Trump is going to continue to fight, and no matter what indictments they try to bring against, no matter if they try to arrest him, it's not going to deter him from running for president in 2024. President Trump has made that clear. And now Merrick Garland is getting real nervous, because his job by Biden was to take down Trump, and it's not happening as fast as Biden would like it to see. So let's get to take a look what we have here. It says this: Merrick Garland just found out that is not so easy to take on Trump. Yes. I could have probably told you that. It's about time the President Trump got some good news regarding the FBI raid issue. And this time, he really got showered with a big when Trump's him beating Biden's DOJ left and right. And the latest score was huge. The good news was report by Western Journal that explain how a federal judge on Thursday appointed a special master to review the documents seized, and the federal raid on President Donald Trump's home, and Florida, and naming retired Judge Raymond Dear, who has been proposed by the Trump team for the task. U.S. District Judge Cannon also said the Justice Department must not access what it says are classified records. And last month Rates Dear, appointed the federal bench by then President Ronald Reagan in 1986, was one of only 4 names proposed by either Trump or the Justice Department on which the two sides could agree. He fully retired from the U.S. District Court judge for the Eastern District of New York late last month. According to The Hill, Trump must pay the costs of the special master, whose review is due by November 30th. And her decision, the judge rejected an argument from the Biden administration Justice Department that it should be able to review about 100 documents, as it said are classified, and banned a special master from seeing them. And of course, Cannon was nominated by Trump to serve on the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Florida back in 2020. And her ruling, the judge noted that the Justice Department wanted everything its way. The court, if the court were willing to accept the governance representation, said select portions of the seized materials are without exception government property not subject to any privilege, and did not think a special master would serve a meaningful purpose. The court would have denied plaintiff's special master requests. Cannon wrote, in this case Trump is the plaintiff, she wrote, that even-handed procedure does not demand unquestioning trust in the determination of the Department of Justice. The Justice Department has claimed about 100 records were classified. Noting that there is an area of dispute, Cannon said those records must be reviewed by the special master. This amazing news for Trump. Let's hope some of this can break through the deep state wall and have an actual justice for one time. I really hope so. As we continue to see how the Democrat Party, the deep state swamp, wants to play. Of course, this is not sitting well with the everyday American in this country, as they see the former president's rights being abused left and right. We see them on the prowl. We see them trying to utilize the arm of the executive branch police force in order to use that, and American people are not very particularly happy with what is being currently done. So it does not bode well for the Biden regime, nor does it bode well for the Democrat Party. And now, it's happening, gang. Ultra-MAGA GOP candidates are surging, and even blue states are beginning to fall. We're going to take a look at the latest poll surge among GOP candidates. We're going to see how even Democrats' strongholds are beginning to break. Now, one of the things that I have been harping on over these last couple of months is how we all needed to be patient and resilient during what's known as a very noticeable Republican polling low during the late summer months. This is a time when the mainstream media starts getting all giddy, right? The Republicans gonna blow it. They're blocked or losing their lead. The Democrats have started to surge. It looks like the GOP is headed for disaster in the midterm. We get this every single election cycle. What the media doesn't tell you, what they hide from you and exploit for their own pathetic gain, is that they know that every single election year, every one Republican candidate's poll love between mid-July all the way to mid-September, sometimes all the way day October, they pull lower than the Democrats, and the reason is Rich Barries over the People's Pundit has analyzed. The reason is simply that the Republican constituency, right, working class folk, patriots, rural folk, mid-America, big families, they just tend to tune out of politics for these months, largely because they have lives. They tune out in a way that the more cosmopolitan Democratic constituencies don't. And what that means is that the polls tend to be skewed artificially towards Democrat candidates during these months since their constituencies are available for polling in a way that Republican constituencies are not again. Terry McAuliffe was crushing Glenn Youngkin by 8 percentage points 46-38. Back in August and early September of last year, and of course Youngkin began to surge in mid-September and October and then up crashing McAuliffe embarrassingly so. And so here we are in mid-September. And guess what's beginning to happen? We're beginning to see the surge, and indeed, it is so massive. How massive is it? I'm channeling my inner Rodney Dangerfield, there it is. It is so massive that we're even beginning to see some of the bluest of the blue states actually turning red. That's literally what we have going on right now. Let's start with one of the single most reliably blue states in the nation, and that is Oregon. Alright, gone in the Pacific Northwest. The Cook Political Report has just officially moved Oregon from lean Democrat to toss-up. This is Oregon. Oregon right now is moving towards the GOP. Oregon has not elected Republican to the governor's mansion literally decades. Republican candidate Christine Drawers and is beginning to pull ahead in a three-way race. That's giving the Republicans an incredible chance to flip Oregon red in the aftermath of what has had to have been one of the single most disastrous governor's tenure in the nation. If you don't know Oregon's current rabid leftist governors, very, very unpopular. And that unpopularity is giving the Republicans an extraordinary opportunity here in the state, but it's not just Oregon. In the state of Nevada, that's gone blue in 5 of the last 7 presidential elections. They're on track to see a massive political sea change. The MAGA Republican Adam Laxalt is beating his leftist Democrat opponent, all as the governor's race has become a dead heat. Imagine Nevada electing both a Republican senator, a MAGA Republican senator, and a solid Republican governors. That is exactly what we're seeing emerge in the polling in the state of Minnesota, which will forever live in infamy with being the only state that voted for Walter Mondale in 1984. In the Reagan blowout, their ultra-leftist Attorney General Keith Ellison is actually now tied with the Republican challenger, Jim Schultz. Again, this is just something otherwise unheard of in Minnesota politics in Pennsylvania, where the last Democratic governor won by 17 points. Dr. Oz has served within the margin of error to the Frankenstein candidate John Fetterman. That META was moved over 3 points in Dr. Oz's direction since August. Again, that's the pattern that we're seeing in every cycle. Keep that in mind. And as far as our very own Doug Mastriano is concerned, real clear politics. The polling aggregate is predicting that the gubernatorial election in Pennsylvania will indeed be a GOP pickup. Mastriano is projected to win. And we're seeing these trends all over the place. The latest from Civics has J.D. Vance up 3 in Ohio, Herschel Walker starting to surge past that lunatic Warnock, the Warlock, and wait on you see the latest polls coming out of Arizona, they are breathtaking. Alright. In the amazing state of Arizona, wow. Which unfortunately, by the way, has gone blue of late with their 2 Democratic senators, but we are seeing literally nothing short of a political earthquake. The latest Trafalgar polling has the ultra-MAGA warrior Carrie Lake up for over a Democratic opponent Katie Hobbs. The equally ultra-MAGA diehard Mark Fincham is blowing away his Democratic opponent for Secretary of State. He's up by 7, and Blake Masters has surged to win in the margin of error with the incumbent Democrat Mark Kelly for the Senate. And these trends are being bolstered by very clear inclination among the electorate towards the Republican candidate on the generic ballot. So for example, Rich Barris's polling, which is the single most accurate polling out there bar none. He has the GOP with a 6-point lead in Pennsylvania. This is amazing. Independents in Pennsylvania are breaking for the GOP by 17 points. In Arizona, the Republicans have a 9-point lead in terms of their generic ballot, and they led among independents by a comparable 14 points. So these dynamics are the dynamics that are propelling these GOP candidates all over the nation, even in the bluest of blue states, to victory. And look, gang, all you got to do is look at some of the more prominent Democratic candidates out there. I mean, come on. As all of this is going on, you've got the clown Beto O'Rourke, literally imploding. I mean, this is a guy who honestly needs a 6-month retreat, some counseling, and probably some medicine. I mean, he's utterly embarrassing, and as are his supporters, so the Democrats are beginning to panic. They won't let on in the media, but even Bill Clinton, who himself was a victim of a massive red wave behind the scenes, he's come out and he's been telling Democrats, get ready guys. This is gonna be bloody, it's gonna be ugly come November. So all this said, of course, we cannot be complacent, nothing is guaranteed. But if we get out there and vote and volunteer, but the tens of 1,000s of the precincts, it looks like we're in for an amazing November midterm. Thank you very much. WWG1WGA. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button to watch the next episode. Goodbye.